Hi folks, welcome to the 13th class in this beginning series, and you've learned the first third. So let's go back and look at everything that you've done. The first 15 or 20 minutes of this video will be just us practicing the animals and the first third. So afterwards, you can always come back to this as kind of a refresher of everything. Of course, the whole video will be filled with our usual insightful and valuable teaching. But in terms of just practicing, doing this first section is good. So the 5 Animal Frolics, a Qigong set that gets the body moving, exercises the core principles of Tai Chi. First one is the bear. Feet a comfortable distance apart, toes in a line, feet parallel. And you turn side to side. As you turn to the right, let the weight pour into the right leg. As you turn to the left, let the weight pour into the left leg. The turning is what you do. The weight shift just happens. And so the bear is really good for working on some of the core ways that you should hold your body, that you should experience things. So the first one is this head top suspended, as if you're held up by the rear crown of the head, so that you can feel your whole body hanging down from the head. With space inside, all the joints in the body are open. You've been lowered to where your feet just touch the ground. So head top suspended is about feeling your open body hanging down from it. Make sure the waist and hips are doing all the work. So you don't want to twist it all. Keep your nose with your belly button. Keep your shoulders over your hips so that it's the waist and hips that are doing all the work. And the arms swing freely. So we've got the head top suspended. At the opposite end, we've got our feet quiet on the ground. So in each foot, the tripod of weight-bearing bones, the heel, the ball of the foot behind the big toe, the ball of the foot behind the little toes. Those 3 points stay in contact with the ground. The feet stay quiet on the ground. They're not rolling. And then in the middle, your dantian, 2 fingers below the belly button, 3/7 of the way in. It's your center. And you want to let your mind rest in the dantian. This will calm the mind. So really experience the move from your abdomen, centered in your center. Feeling the hands move through the air as if it had the substance of water. So as the arms should feel light, easy to move. And when you turn your waist, the arms just come along with it. So there's no efforting or striving in the arms. And you can feel the air right in front of the palm of your front hand. It's right there like you were in a pool, surrounded by water. So feel the air as your arms move through the air. And then, most important, relax completely. Letting go of any extra muscular effort. Whole body is soft. Another swing or two. The bear. Next up is the tiger. The tiger works a couple things. One of the important things is nimble footwork. So first principle of Tai Chi Chuan, relax. Second principle, separate empty and full. And so you're going to be working that with your stepping here. So we'll just put it all together because you've been practicing this. Step with the left foot, put all your weight forward, shift from the front foot into the back foot, let the front foot come up on the ball, and reset to the V. Step to the right, all the way forward, rear step foot comes in a half step, shift the weight on the ball of the front foot. As you shift forward, your arms are rounded, they make fists. As you sit back, you open your claws. So, stepping, arms rounded, fists, thumbs on top, shift the weight, open your claws. Make sure that this is soft and easy, so your arms are comfortable. Don't feel like you have to hold your arms up too high. It'll be uncomfortable. Let it be rounded and relaxed. And the weight shifts are crisp. All the weight forward. All the weight back. 100%. Back to the V. All the weight forward. All the weight back. Take small steps. So this is easy. You're teaching yourself to be nimble on your feet, easily able to shift from one to the other without disturbing the body. Feel the roundness in the arms. Open your claws. Everything is rounded. Claws open. You look through the fingers of the hand that goes with your front foot. So I look through my right hand. I look through my left hand. Once more on each side. The monkey works a couple important things. It works the shifting under the bridge, so you stay connected to the ground. So when you step, you sit down, which puts your front foot on the ground. You shift underground, and you come up the front foot. So that's one big thing it works. The other big thing it works is the cross balance from one foot to the opposite hand to keep your balance. So monkey, step with one foot, get the other hand ready. Underground, up the front foot, grab the peach, rear foot comes in. Other side, step with the other foot, the other opposite hand, shift under the bridge, grab the peach. So feel from your front foot all the way through to the opposite hand. That's your line of stability. That will make you balanced and stable. And try to have everything come together at the same time. Just as your fingers close, the rear foot comes in and touches on the ball, empty, so that it's easy to step. Just as the fingers close, the rear foot comes in and touches on the ball, empty, so it's easy to step back. Really feel that line that gives you the balance from the front foot to the opposite hand. Cross balance. And really try to make everything come together at the same time. Everything starts together, everything finishes together. And of course, relaxed. Once more on each side. The deer. The deer works the 70-30, our basic stance, and it lets you use the waist to direct a movement all the way through the body. So, step out with your left foot, make sure you have both length and width. Gather, shift forward and turn, display your antlers. Now with the right foot, step out forward and to the side. Gather, display your antlers. Feel the motion come from the rear foot, up through the leg, torso, arms, fingers, and beyond. Look out past it. Rear foot, leg, torso, arms, fingers, and beyond. Looking out past. The long arm goes with the front leg. The breathing is natural. Abdominal breathing, the belly expands on the inhale and relaxes and releases on the exhale. Deep abdominal breathing. Without interruption, no holding your breath, no forcing your breath. With time, you'll get the shapes to do the breathing. As you come forward, this is an opening, expanding, you'll breathe in. As you come back, this is a focusing, contracting, you'll breathe out. So go ahead and notice if you're breathing in and then breathing out, and that's great. If your pattern is different, don't force it, just keep breathing. And of course, our little deer smile, because this is just such a lovely motion. Let yourself have a little secret inner smile. Once more on each side. And then the crane. The main thing the crane lets us practice is the synchronization of body, breath, and awareness. So as your body is opening, that'll expand the chest area, that lets the air come in. As your body is closing, that will compress this, the air will go out. As the body opens, let your awareness expand and fill the space around you. As the body closes, bring your awareness back internal, focus in the Dantian. So that's one big thing the crane works on. The other thing it lets us do is we get to practice this shifting underground, shifting while staying connected to the ground. So, the crane, stepping forward, the arms come up, make crane beaks. You open and you close, shifting underground, both forward and back. Step, sit down in the rear leg till the front leg's on the ground, shift underground, come up the front leg, sit down on the front leg, reaching with your rear heel when it's on the ground, shift underground into the rear leg. The motion of the arms is perfectly synchronized with the shifting forward and back. So your arms just finish opening as you get into your front foot all the way. Your arms just finish coming back down as your rear foot comes back. Breathing naturally. As you relax, the shape will do the breathing for you. As the body opens, air will come in. As you close, air will go out. And let your awareness go with it too. As you open, feel all the space around you. As you close and sit back, focus back in the Dantian. So the awareness expands and the awareness focuses. Body, breath, and awareness in sync. Opening, breathing in, expanding. Closing, breathing out, focusing. Once more on each side. Opening, inhaling, awareness expands. Closing, exhaling, awareness focuses. Five Animal Frolics. Let's do a first third. Use those nice animal bodies that you just got warmed up. Let this be done just for the joy of it. And go ahead. So, give yourselves a round of applause. You did it. So that's a nice little practice. I think that was about 20 minutes. And I know I'm always talking to you about practice, but part of why I always talk to you about practice is that's how you learn the form. You have to practice. So in order to get to this point, you've had to practice. But more important, why do you practice? You practice because it feels good, because it makes you happy, because you feel better after you finish practicing than you did before. And sure, we all want to get better. I want to get my Tai Chi skill higher. I mean, of course we all want to do that. And so practice is one of the ways to do that. But the core reason to do practice is it's a gift for yourself. So go ahead and give yourself that gift. And, at this point, you've been working through these videos. You know what I mean when I say, if you practice, you'll feel better. So just always do it. And, be gentle on yourselves, but give yourselves this gift. So we'll do some more. We're going to work through each of the core 5 principles, and we'll do a first third focused on each of those. And Beth will do the first one, and then we'll keep going.
So there's 5 principles, 5 basic principles that we're trying to embody when we do Tai Chi. And a good way to practice them is to look at one at a time as you do a form. So that's what we're going to do now, and we're going to do it in reverse. So the 5 principles, in order: relax, separate empty and full, turn the waist, body upright, and beautiful lady's hand. We're going to do them backwards so that we culminate with relax and you get to reap the benefits of all the work you do getting there. So we're going to start with beautiful lady's hand. So the thing about beautiful lady's hand is making sure that the energy, internal energy, makes it all the way out to your hand, to the palm, to the fingertips, so that your whole arm, all the way out to the edge, is engaged and involved in your motions. If you kink the wrist in any dimension, you're going to kind of break off that energy flow. It's like putting a rubber band around a balloon or something, and then the air can't keep making its way through. So we're looking for a relaxed, open, soft hand. It has a little bit of a soft curve, not like this, because that would be broken, but I'm not trying to be straight. I'm letting it soften in a straight place. And the middle finger runs the same angle as the arm bones here, so that tells you you don't want to go in any other direction. Let the thumb point in generally the same direction. So this is not beautiful lady's hand, but I don't have to force it to point exactly the same way. That creates a lot of tension. So let it be soft and relaxed. You can even stand here for a minute and just shake your hands out and let them land comfortably. Slight roundedness here, but an open palm. So you don't want to let this happen where the thumb takes a different plane altogether. You want it to be open across the palm so that the whole hand is open and the thumb isn't falling in. So let's do a first third, and I'll just keep reminding you about beautiful lady's hand. And the beauty of this is you can see it. It's usually out there in front of you. So notice what your hands do and try to keep them soft and open. And begin. So this first motion is to open the wrists, and therefore we're going to have bends. That's a bend in the wrist. It bends again to come out to the fingertips. Wrist bends again as the hands come back toward the body. Bends again as the fingers point up, and then bends another time. That's your 5th bend to get it back to where we want to start. Now, it's going to stay in that nice open shape as we move through the form. So ball of air doesn't mean that you cup a ball in your hand. It's just a relationship between the open palms. You want to have the fingers extending all the way so that your hands don't curl up, but they're not stiff. Notice what happens in press. This is an easy place to lose that. And in push, you're not bending the wrist to push. Now right here, coming into the hook has a little bend in the wrist, like a ripe fruit hanging. So you don't push it down, just let it have a relaxed bend. But now the hook opens and you're back to the canonical beautiful lady's hand position. And watch out for the wrist getting cocked at the conclusion of brush knee. Keep the wrist soft and open. Letting the elbow drop so that your hand goes forward without you having to break the wrist. Now, even as you squeeze a fist, you don't want it to get caught at the wrist. Keep it open. Hands are still relaxed and close. So, beautiful lady's hand.
Okay, so the next one is body upright. And so the thing about body upright is this rear crown of the head suspended and letting that line run through the whole body. And so it's easy to end up tilting, even places where you don't think you are. So like I'm in press and I'm going to come back into push, and as I come back into push, I lean back a little bit and then I come forward, right? So I'm making this big, but you want to really feel upright all the way through there as you do this. So we're going to do another first third. And as you work through this first third, don't worry about beautiful lady's hand. Don't worry about all the other things. Just really pay attention to keeping the body upright. The rear crown of the head is suspended and the open body is hanging down from it. So I will continue to remind you while we're doing that about it. So right from the start here, standing here in the V, rear crown of head suspended, whole body is vertical. And go ahead. Body is upright. As you shift, keep yourself upright. And when you step, make sure you don't lean. Upright as you step. The rear crown of the head is suspended. Keep yourself upright as you take this big step. No leaning. As you turn here, body upright. And close. Body upright. Upright in Chinese has the same kind of connotations as it does in English of correct and appropriate. So it means that the body is upright, the rear crown of the head suspended, vertical. It also means that you're not distorting. You're not making your shapes weird and contorted. So go ahead and experience the uprightness of the body.
Okay, so next up is turn the waist. Reminder, the waist is back here. It's like the kidney region. It's the lower back. That's what they mean when they say waist. When you turn the waist, you're turning on top of your hip joint, the ball and socket, that is where your leg meets your pelvis. So the whole torso rotates for turn the waist, and it keeps you from moving from up above. That's not turn the waist. So the shoulders can relax and just come along for the ride, and all the action is happening down here. So I'll remind you about turning the waist. And begin. The whole torso opens to the right and turns back to the front. And now everything pretty much stays in position as you come through the arm motions and return back down to the beginning posture. Now, turn the waist to bring your hands in a ball and to face the wall. You turn to the side, step, shift, turn the waist to complete the move. Turning to the corner, step. As you shift, then turn the waist to complete the move. Turn a little past the wall and turn to the other corner. Keep turning. Turn back to bring the hands together and press. Push doesn't really have a turn. Now you get a lot of opportunities. First, you're going to turn on top of your left leg. Then you turn on top of your right leg to the right. Turning to the left on top of your right leg. And turn to complete the move. Turning to open the hands. Lifting hands. Slight turn to the left. And a bit of a turn back toward the front. When you turn in these moves, make sure it doesn't disturb your knee. I'll let you know when you need to be square to the front, and until then, make sure that your knees are not compromised. Now you're square to the front. Turning to take the hands apart and stretch the rubber band. Little turn back. Turn to get the arm to swing up. It folds. You're still in the corner. Turn to complete the move. Now you're square. Turning to the left. Shifting to the left. And you're going to turn the waist to bring the arms and foot into position. And square to the front by turning. Turn a little further. Turning as you sit into the back leg to draw the hands to cross, turning back to the front to take them apart and push. Turning the waist to take the hands apart, shift the weight. The waist finishes turning to the front, step back, and stand up to an unlocked knee position. Weight in both feet. Close up, sit to the left, turn to the right to turn out the right foot. Turn back to the front, bring the other foot in, shift the weight, and that one is turn the waist.
Okay, and then next to last, everybody's favorite, separate, empty, and full. We haven't done all that much of this with you all, basically because we want to get your shapes right and get you doing Tai Chi well before we start putting this extra demand on you. But we've talked about it some, and we're going to do it some more. So stand on either leg and put your other leg out in front of you and let it rest on the ground. Put all your weight in the rear leg. And what we're going to do is you're going to test. And the way you're going to test is you're going to let your front foot float off the ground the width of a sheet of paper. And when you do that, nothing should change in the rest of your body. So your belly doesn't get tight. You don't lean in order to pick it up. You just let it come off the ground. Then you can let it go back down on the ground, and look how much effort you were using in your leg to get that to float. Try to relax that and let it float off the ground again without perturbing the rest of the body. And now change sides, stand on the other leg, put the first foot that you were standing on out front of you, and let it float off the ground width of a sheet of paper without disturbing the rest of the body. Easy. Let it go back down on the ground, relax the leg, anything you did in order to float it, and let it float again without doing anything else to disturb the body. So we're going to do a first third, and every place we're 100%, we're going to stop for a second and check. And so this is a tool for you to really see if you've separated empty and full or not. It's easy to think you're separated, but then when you actually do it, you discover you're not. So, I'm in a posture, and I sit back all the way, and I think I've separated the weight in this front leg, but in order to pick it up, watch my torso, I have to move back more. That's telling me I didn't actually separate all the way. So this is a test for you, and it's a way to see have you separated or not. When you separate, just float the foot the width of a sheet of paper off the ground. Don't do a big lift. When you do a big lift, you'll tighten the leg more. And so then what you're doing is you're using force. And you want it to be so little, you're just sitting there, The leg floats. It makes no difference. It doesn't tighten my belly. I don't have to lean in order to pick the foot up. And I'm absolutely separated. I'm not most of the way separated. Now, I've got most of my weight in my back leg, but there's some in the front leg. When I pick that leg up, either it goes right back down on the ground, or I move my body. So you want to notice that. You want to notice that. We'll stop every place through the first third. This will make your legs hurt. We'll stop every place through the first third and check that. And I will cue you on it. So, right from the start, all the weight into the right leg, the left knee buoys, the left foot is empty. Before you step, check that the foot is empty. Go ahead and step, put it down. After you've stepped, check that it's still empty. Now shift all your weight to the left, open to the right. The right foot should be empty. You should be able to float it. Turn to the front and shift 50-50 up to an unlocked knee position. Fix your feet if you need to. It's easy for them to not go quite where you want. Okay, the first one. Arms come up. Feel out to your fingertips. Hands slide back on that invisible table. Arms rebalance. Fingers point up. Wrists gradually straighten as the hands come down. Okay, and now we're off. Shift to the left. Turn to the right. You've got a ball of air. And your right foot is empty. You can pick it up. Shift all the way to the right. Release the left foot entirely. You've got a ball of air. And your rear foot is empty. You can pick it up. Turn to the corner. And step. Heel first. No weight. You can pick your left foot back up. And then shift into ward off left. Relax here for a second. You get to use both legs. Okay, continue. Weight forward. Turn to the right front corner. Before you step, your right foot is empty. After you step, your right foot is empty. And go ahead, ward off right. Down into your front foot, turn to the right. Sit back 100%, left palm up by right elbow, and check that front foot. You can float it. Turn from right corner to left, and then all the way. Stop when your left hand has swung up, and check that your right foot is still empty. Turn back towards the front. The hands come together. You haven't shifted yet. Your front foot is still empty. Press. 70-30. Ah. Sit back 100%, palms turn down, elbows drop into rear root, and your front foot is empty. You can float it. Push. Release into the 70-30. Okay, on to single whip. Sit back 100%. Check that your front foot is empty. Turn, pivoting on the heel. Make sure you don't twist. Remember, turn the waist. And check that your right foot is still empty. Go ahead, shift to the right. Turn to the right, grabbing the hook. Before you unwind, check that your left foot is empty. Turn, pivot on the ball of the left foot. Before you step, check that the left foot is empty. You can pick it up. Take an easy step, heel first. No weight. Check that that foot is still empty. Then shift. Single whip. When we hold postures, teachers would always tell us it should be like a meditation. So let the mind be calm. Continuing, lift hands, turn, open, hug the big tree. Before you step, check that your right foot is empty. Hug a smaller tree and feel out to your fingertips. Make sure the right foot is still empty. Drop the hands, ball of air, bring the right foot back. Try not to put any weight in it. Step out for shoulder strike, heel first. No weight, you can pick that foot back up. And then shift into shoulder strike. 70-30. Ah. All of your weight forward. Turn, spread your wings. Left foot steps on the ball. No weight, you can pick it back up. Drop the hands, turn the waist, stop when your rear hand swings up to the rear corner, and check that your left foot is still empty. Front hand drops, rear hand folds, front foot steps, heel first, no weight. Check it, make sure it's still empty. And then shift, brush knee. Letting go of any tension. This work can definitely lead to tightening up, so keep letting go. Down into your front foot. Pick your rear foot up. Replace it. Make sure it's still empty. You can pick it up again. And then shift. Stretch the rubber band. Release the rubber band. Play guitar. Front foot is on the heel and it's empty. You can pick it up. Turn the waist, swing the arms, stop in the rear corner. Make sure your left foot is still empty. Sink, front hand drops, rear hand folds, front foot steps, heel first, no weight. You can pick it back up. And then brush knee. Sit back 100%, front hand drops. Rear hand folds, front foot pivots on heel, and you know it's empty. You can pick it up. Shift forward 100%, squeezing a fist before you step with the right foot. Check that it's empty. Step in and out, heel first. Check that it's still empty. Shift, arms trail behind. Waist is towards the left corner. Rear foot is empty. You can pick it up. Turn, move the hands and foot. Step, heel first. You know, no weight. You can pick it up. And punch. Letting any tension melt off of you. Down into your front leg, turn to the left palm up under right armpit. Sit back, draw the right hand over the left wrist. Turn back to the front, let the elbows drop into the rear root, and the left foot is empty. Push. Letting tension melt off you. Sit back, forearms extend. Before you turn, the left foot is empty. Turn, hands separate like a W, not a diamond. Oh, and guess what? The left foot is still empty. Shift 100% into the left foot, pivot on the ball. The right foot, palms up at the bottom of the curve. Right foot is empty. You're about to take a step. Step. Check that it's still empty. You can still pick it up. 50-50, hands cross. And stand up, return to the beginning. Close. Sit 100% in your left leg, turn the right foot on the heel, and the right foot is empty. You can pick it up. Shift all the weight into the right foot. Before you step with the left foot, it's empty. After you bring the heels together, it's empty. 50-50, and stand up. Great. Take a break. So that can be hard work, actually doing the separation work, but it's really instructive. So we encourage you to spend some time doing that, and we will absolutely return to this during your Tai Chi journey.
Okay, now it's the one that it's all about. All these principles are describing what it means to relax. If you can get all of these working, you will have a better chance of relaxing in movement. So this time, don't worry about all the things we've done. You've worked on each one of them. You're teaching your body to do a little more of each of the principles. And now you get to enjoy the benefits of it and relax. So we're just going to keep letting go and relaxing. One of the keys for relaxing is to not think. This is a place that has to relax too. So you've been doing these forms a lot. You should be able to just kind of follow along and not have to think your way through it. If you're still thinking your way through it, that's just the nature of the beast. But eventually you'll be able to do it so that you're not having to run the control room up here, and instead your body has learned the shapes that it's making and moving from one to the next, and you can put your mind down in the dantian, like there's a little cushion in there, and your mind can just settle down there, and that will help you relax. When you start thinking and thinking ahead, oh, this next step is going to be hard, it takes you away from the moment and the feeling of relax. So just go ahead, do it for the joy of it, do it like you're already a master. So breathing, relaxing, letting everything soften, and begin. Remembering to breathe. Softening, relaxing, taking steps that you can move in and out of comfortably. Slight bend in your knees and elbows so the joints don't get locked and the energy can flow through you and your whole body can soften. Everything moving together helps keep the body relaxed. Standing here for a moment, just breathing, noticing any place you might have developed tension. See if you can let it go. Relax your belly, relax your lower back. Shoulders are dropped, feet are on the ground, head is suspended. And close. So, the 5 principles. We learned these from Ben Lo. He was one of Chung Man-ching's top students in Taiwan. He came to the US. He worked with us for several years. He would come to town and do weekend workshops with us, and he really drilled us on these 5 principles. And then at one point he said, you know, there's a 6th. Do all 5 at the same time. So that separating them out is a good way to explore what each one of them means. And then every time you practice one of them, it gets better. And then you can bring some awareness somewhere else, and eventually relax teaches you to do them all at the same time. So that's what you're looking for. So we want to thank you for hanging with us through all these sessions. And if you're still here, you made it to the end, we'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line and let us know how it went for you, or just say, hey, I took the class and I'm in this place or that place, I'm in Boulder, I'm halfway across the country, wherever you are. We're just interested. We'd like to know. If you have feedback, we'd love to hear it. We've never done this before. And if you found it useful and you have a little money to throw our way, that would be great. And if not, don't let that keep you from getting a hold of us and telling us that you've done this. We love sharing this art, and that's what we really care about. So if you enjoyed it, tell your friends to do it too. And it's one of the things we can do in this difficult time is share Tai Chi with anybody who can find their way to our YouTubes. So enjoy, share it, relax, and stay in touch.